So, good morning, everyone. Myself, Sanskar, working as a head of business development department in HSPM. I welcome you all in this international webinar of Flutter development. I request Stutee ma'am so as to give you some intro of our company, what our company does, and what are some basics of our company's services. So, Stutee ma'am, please continue.
So good afternoon to one and all. Myself Stutee. I'm the Chief Operating Officer in HSPM Solution. Before starting this webinar, I just want to give a very short description about what our company do. So basically, HSPM Solution stands for Hardware and Software Product Management. We provide the business suites to client. That is, we build the website and app as per the requirements of the people. Also, we are into the service sector, and like 1 month ago we have launched the brand name as the Techanics. So in that, what we do is like we provide hello, yeah. So in that, what we do is we provide the solutions for the mobile, laptop, and desktop repairing for the 24/7. And so that's all for the company's description. So without dealing this webinar, I just want to welcome the Mr. Piyush Gadge, sir. So he's having experience of 1 year, and he's leading the department of the app development. So welcome, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Uh,
So can you just continue with this webinar, and all the best, sir.
okay. So hello everyone. My name is Piyush, and I'm doing Flutter development for around 6 months for now. Let's start this seminar. First of all of you must be knowing what is native app development. Like we used
Piyush
to
sir,
do.
sorry to interrupt you.
Uh,
Can you please on your video? It would be
okay.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So all of you must be knowing what is native app development, right? We used to code in Java or Kotlin for the native Android ones, and for Swift and Objective-C for the iOS thing. But like for now, we are in the phase of the rapid development. Like everyone needs their development very fast, and like small startups like us, we can't have different kinds of developers for different kinds of apps. So uh, Google just had a very beautiful solution for that. They like last year in October they released their first stable release of the latest cross-platform mobile app development framework. So that is Flutter. So first of all, let's head into the question that what is cross-platform mobile app development? Like we know that in native we use different programming language and different strategies for different kinds of operating systems. But in cross-platform concept, we do think that in single code base we need to build apps for various kinds of operating systems. Like, and with a single code base we can build an app for Android, iOS, and also web. Well, the web is in the beta phase right now, but it will also be a stable release after a few days. So firstly, let's look into some more cross-platform mobile development frameworks in this year, the very hot and famous ones, especially. So the first and most famous in today's date is React Native. React Native is a project of Facebook, and they built and they are maintaining this right now. React Native was released back in 2013 or 14 something. That's why it is very popular. Like all of the industries have adapted it very. And React Native uses JavaScript. Like if you are from the web background, you must be knowing the React framework. The React framework use the combination of JavaScript and XML, that is JSX for their web apps. But React Native almost uses the same approach. The they use JavaScript and the combination of XML for the layout thing. And but still, again, the issue with React Native, it has performance issues. The apps built with React Native couldn't perform as fast as the native apps that we used to build in Java or Kotlin. So Google again came with a solution for that. That is the second one is Flutter over here. So Flutter is comparatively very new to as compared to React Native, because it has its first stable release last year only. So Flutter uses they built a dedicated programming language for this, that is Dart, and Dart is very fast, and it is very developer friendly language. Like if you have any experience in languages like Java or JavaScript or Swift, C sharp, like anything, learning Dart is a very easy task for you. It is like it'll hardly take 1 or 2 days if you have any prior experience in programming. And here we have other frameworks like Iterate. This also uses JavaScript. Xamarin uses C sharp. It is, but all of these are like, we also have one framework called Corona. It uses the Lua programming language. But all these frameworks are pretty old, and like they are not as good as the other ones, because the performance issue, they have a lot of performance issues. They couldn't perform as fast as the native apps. So Flutter is a solution for that. Flutter is also very good on the performance side and the development side also, because with a single code you can build the Android apps, iOS apps, and web apps also. And after a few days, they are also switching for desktop apps. So you'll also get to build desktop apps with using the Flutter with a single code base. Okay. So the programming for today's agenda will be doing a Dart, that is the official programming language of Flutter. And Dart, let's get an intro for Dart. Okay, so Dart was mainly built for Flutter only. It was released in 2013, so it is like comparatively a very new language as compared to other ones. And that is purely object oriented, like the other languages that we know, like Java or C++ or C sharp. Like all of them are object oriented, and they have almost the same syntax also, and the same structure as that. Okay, and that like is also very much better than JavaScript if we are focusing for the web app part, because it has a very fast compiler. So it doesn't like it. JavaScript apps have performance issues, so that doesn't have that. And okay, so let's yeah, here I have given this point that fast on all platforms. Dart's compiler is very ahead of time, and it compiles very fast and predictable native code. Like under the hood, it's still the native code that we are running. Like when you are building an app, the whole Dart code is converted into the, if we are building for Android, that the Dart code will be converted for into Java code, or if we are building for iOS, it will be converted into the Swift code. So yeah, that is a very fast and very easy to learn language. So we'll start with that. First of all, we need to download the SDK for Dart. So for that, you can go to this site dart.dev, and here you can find in this get Dart section, uh, you can find this, download the SDK via zip file, or you can use this uh, command line uh, for downloading the Dart SDK. Okay, and the code editor that I'll be using for now will be the Intellij. I'll use this for today for writing the Dart code. You can download it from like here. It is and directly download the exe file, or you can download the zip file. That you like download the community edition if you're using this for practice. The ultimate edition is the paid one. Okay, and if you don't want to use any code editor, there's also one more solution for that. You can go to the Dartpad. This is the online editor for Dart. Here you can directly write the Dart code and run it. See, we can directly write this Dart code over here and practice. We can also practice over here. But for now, we'll stick to Intellij. Okay. Uh, so I've already downloaded and installed my Intellij over here. I'll start with it. You can also use VS Code and Eclipse and other that kind of IDEs. They also come with Dart support. The only thing you have to do is download the Dart plugin over there. Okay. So I'll show you how to open up a new project in Intellij for Dart. First, I delete my older projects. Okay. I'll open a new project over here. If you go to the file section, here you have different options, Groovy, Kotlin, and when you create a new project, so the Dart SDK that you have downloaded, you have to give the path of Dart SDK over here, and the project will be created. We'll name the project as a webinar. Okay. Let's create a Dart file over here. We'll name this Dart. We have this Dart file over here. So let's go to our presentation part. Okay, so first of all, whenever we are learning any language, we need to know few concepts that we use during programming. So any programming language that we learn, the first part we do is write a hello world program in that. So we'll start with that. So if you want to write hello world program in Dart, it is very simple to do. You have to only do void main. You like the main function is the entry point of the Dart, entry point of the whole program. Like यही से हमारा पूरा program execute होता है. Whatever functions or classes we write, the main starting point of any program is the main function. Okay, because of see so writing a hello world program is very simple in that we have to only write print and that's it. We don't have to define any classes or any long syntax things for running a simple code in that. Just writing print would be fine for this. And if we run this, you can see we are getting the output over here. Okay, so yeah, this was the basic hello world program we write in Dart. After that, the next part will be starting with the variables or the types of variables in Dart that we have. Okay, so you all must be knowing what are variables if you have any prior experience. Variables are just any entity in which the we store our values when we program. Like if and it has different types. For example, here we have it. Uh, this would be an like this would be a type, and this is the examples of that. The for example, we have a variable of nails. The nails would have different types like short nails and like long nails, all of that. But like, same would happen with the integer part also. If we have an integer variable, for suppose, and we'll see it here only rather than the PPT. Uh, there are various types of variables in Dart. We have integer, we have double. We don't have float over here like in other Java or C++. We have float. We don't have float. We directly have double. Double is very much like float only. It is just its byte size is little bit greater than that. For string, we directly have the string data type over here, and we have other collection data type. These are the primitive data types, like these are not the derived one. The integer character also we have a, a character data type we have, and for boolean we just have this bool keyword, and we can give it a true or false values for boolean values. Okay, and so this is the types of variable. You all must be knowing how to declare a variable. You have to just first write the type of variable, then the name what will be given to it. For suppose I give a, it is an integer type, so it will get only an integer value and close it with a semicolon. So that is how we declare a variable in that. Like it is very similar to other languages. Like while doing this, I want all of you to relate this with the other programming language that you know, uh, because we do all these things are very much same in other things also. They are like in Java also we do the same stuff for declaring a variable. In C++ we also do the same thing for declaring a variable. That's why I'm saying that you everything I do here, you try to relate it with the other programming language that you might be knowing. Okay. Again, the same we can declare a string variable like this. Um, okay, this is how we declare a string. The catch over here is we can declare a string inside a single quotes also, and also in double quotes. Okay. So you have this flexibility over here. We don't have to strictly do it in single quotes or double quotes. So this is an exception. Like you don't have this flexibility in other languages, I think. So yeah, you should keep this point in on your mind. For double has only decimal values. Like if we declare a double with an integer value, it will give an error. But it can contain only decimal values, like it could be anything. Okay. Uh, one more data type we have is character. You might be knowing that we don't need it very often, but still it is also there in Dart. And yeah, I think if you want to print a variable, you know, this is the command that we write in that. It is very simple to print a variable also. Print the variable name is a, so we'll name it, and just that's it. It will print the variable over here. Okay, so this is very easy again. Um, so after variables, we'll head up to the conditional statements, like the if else statements, the switch case statements. Okay, that is also we need them very often. So firstly, let's see what is the if else statements in that. This also is very much same to Java. For like, let's take a condition like if the variable a is less than 20, then print success, else print not success. Same the if else condition, you know, like if this condition is satisfied, then this code will be executed, or if it is not satisfied, this code will be executed. Okay, so let's run this code and see the condition is true over here, that the variable a, that is 12, is less than 20, and that's why it is giving us success. Otherwise, if we gave a condition like if it's greater than 20, then this is not true, so it will go into the else block for doing this. Okay, so this is the syntax for the if else conditions in Dart. This is very same to other programming language. Okay, now we also have else if we have multiple conditions. Else if we can give another condition if a is if a is greater than 10, suppose. Yes, or else you know, in the else block it will wrote, so as you can see here, we have a variable a. Okay, and we have this condition if a is greater than 20, print success. This condition will not be executed because a is very much smaller than 20, as we can see here. Again, we can have multiple condition, or like we have the else if condition over here. In else if condition, we have a condition that a should be greater than 10. So at that case, this code will get executed. And if both of these conditions are not true, then this will be executed. Okay, so let's run this code. I hope you'll be expecting the answer would be true, but no, it's false. Okay, a should be less than, I have given this, but a should be greater than, this condition would be there. Okay, so this condition is a should be greater than 10. So in this case, this block got executed, this else if block, because this condition got satisfied. Okay, and again the next we have the switch case statement. Uh, they are also very much useful, like the if else condition. We can have the specific conditions in here. So let's do switch a, and the syntax is same like other programming languages. We have to write here various cases over here. If case 11, then do this, then print uh, case 12, TWELVE 12. Okay, we take the same condition. And we have a last, the default condition. The default condition will be print that will print match not found. Okay, in the default case, there's no need to write the break statement because it will already not get executed. So like in this case, what we are having is we are having a variable which has a value 12. Okay, so in switch case statement, what we do is we test different cases. So we have here three types of cases over here. Okay? We have if a is equal to 11, then this statement will get executed. If a is equal to 12, then this condition will get executed. And if a is equal to 13, this will get executed. And if a is not, like the match is not found, like if a is some other value which is not here in this cases, then the default one will get executed. So like let's run this code and see what we get. See, 12 we got. Because I initialized the value of a was 12. So this switch case, this found the match for the variable over here, and this statement got executed. And if we try to give it another value like 13, then yeah, it gave us 13. So in this case, the 13, this this case got executed. Okay, but what if we give it some other value, like which is not here in this cases? In that case, if we give like 19, 190, okay, like we don't have a case for 190 over here. We have 11, 12, 13. So in this case, see, we got match not found. So in this case where a is not, the match is not found in any case, we got the default statement executed, in which we've written this statement that the match is not found. Okay, and these break statements are placed to just get out of this switch statement. Otherwise, like if the match, we write this break statement to find the match for this. If the match is found, the break statement will get executed and we'll get out of this the switch condition. Okay, otherwise it will go on, keep on finding the matches mm, for the matching variable in these conditions. So that's why we need to write this break statement over here. Okay, uh, let's go in the okay. So we are done with the statements, like the if else statements and the switch case statement. Now I'll tell you something about string interpolation. Uh, Here, so what is string interpolation? Like string interpolation would be the way we concatenate a string inside a print statement. With like like we can see, if we have some string, we give that string, we have to print that string. So we'll directly write the variable of that string, and that will get executed. Okay, I'll show you this in code. So what we are going to see is string. So suppose in this case we have a string called a. Okay, it has a value of anything a b c d e f. The string a has a value of a b c d e f. Okay, so if we have to print this string, we will write this directly. We'll write print a. Like this method would everyone would be comfortable with this, right? Okay, but what if we want to write multiple strings in this, in suppose multiple strings in this statement? Suppose I have another string, it is b, and it is equal to suppose anything, like any random string I have. What if I have to print this string b in the same print statement? In that case, I'll concatenate both the strings, and I'll just write a plus sign over here and add b. Okay, so the whole string got concatenated and it got printed over here. Again, one more condition we'll have. What if we have a string, anything like welcome to the seminar? I have this string, and inside this all string statement, I have to print the a string also over here. In that case, what will I do? One solution I have is I could write the plus and a, but this would be very hectic. Like every time if I have to continue this string again, I would have to write a plus and continue over here. So that would be very hectic. So we have a solution over here in Dart. We can use the dollar sign and we can just concatenate the string over here. As you can see here, we can just use the dollar sign and this string will get concatenated or joined in with this string. We don't have to write any plus signs to print that string in this print statement. You see, as you can see here, welcome to the seminar. The first string that we have here is the welcome to the seminar, and after that I have a space, and after the space I printed this string that is a. So this dollar sign we can use to interpolate the string inside the string. Okay, again if I have another string, I can continue doing this. uh, Hello, and again here if I want to interpolate the string b, in that case I'll just give a dollar sign and give b over here. Okay, this will work. So instead of writing the plus signs and again giving the curly braces, we can directly print this whole thing inside a single statement using this dollar sign. So this is what we call string interpolation, and this is very easy in Dart. If we have something like a static variables, then we have to do. We can also use the brackets to specify it. If we have other, we have some. If we are returning something from a function or something, and that we'll see later. We can use this curly braces to specify that. This will also work in the same way, or we can directly write down the dollar sign and the variable name. I mean, that would work. Okay. We are done with string interpolation. Okay, and let's see the booleans in Dart. Okay, we have you all must be knowing what is booleans. Booleans are just two true or false conditions. We have uh, um, we have only two types of conditions in the boolean. That is, a boolean could be either true or boolean could be false. I have not specified the name of these variables. See, so these are the condition of these. See, boolean type of variable can have only two values, that would be true or false. This is also a data type similar to integer or double, but this only stores the true or false values. Also, and this is very useful if we have to check any condition while programming. Okay. After that, let's look at the operator types of operators that we have in Dart. Okay. So first of all, what are operators? Operators are like symbols that we use to. Operators are symbols that we use to perform operations and during modifying and manipulating data. Okay. We have arithmetic operators, equality and relational operators, logical operators, and all of them we have. Okay. See, first we'll see what are arithmetic operators. So these are the types operators that we have in Dart. We have the plus operator, that means addition, minus subtraction, and this means the star symbol means multiplication. The dash means division. This is a special case. This gives us the absolute value during division, and this gives us the reminder of during the division. You all must be knowing this. Okay, let's see the example for this. Okay, I'll see operators. Okay, so the first operator that we have is the plus operator. Okay, so let's suppose we have a integer a, it has a value of 1. Okay, so the plus operator, what you'll do is suppose we have another integer b, and here we will do a plus 2. So what the plus operator will do is it will add the 2 with a. Okay, like this is a very basic thing to know, but still to make everyone comfortable with these operators, I'm explaining this. Yeah, this gave us the value 3. Okay, again there is one more method to do this. We can directly do a plus plus. This is the increment operator, like this will increase the value of a by 1. We can directly write it over here. Okay, so what this double 2 times plus symbol will do is this will add 1 in whatever the value of a is. Okay, okay, this is not working properly, I think. But yeah, the increment operator just increases the value of that with one more variable. Okay. Uh, Another we have the other ones you might be comfortable, like the subtraction one, the multiplication one. I'll show you the special case that we have in Dart. In Dart we have a special the absolute division operator. So what is that? I'll show you. The absolute division means let's see, if we have integer b that will be equal to suppose 2, and let's make it 3. Okay, so if we have a variable of type double and we name it c, and it is equal to a divided by b. Okay, so if we print this, we'll get c, we'll get the decimal point division of these numbers. We got 1.5. Okay, if we have 3, and here we have 11, so we'll get it a very bigger decimal point division. But what if we don't want the part after the decimal point? For that we can use this absolute operator, like this. So this, the absolute operator gives us the integer value in return. Okay, so the numbers are same, the values of a and b are same. We are doing the division, and see what we'll be getting is only 3. Okay, like this will not give us the values that come after the decimal point. This will just give the absolute value of that operation. Okay, suppose we are doing here 11 by 3. No, so 11 by 3 would be a decimal number, but using this sign we just got 3. That means we got the absolute value of that operation. So operation. Okay, uh, uh, this you all must be knowing. The plus operator adds, the minus one subtracts, and the multiplication one, the division one, and this one we saw here divides the first operand by second operand and returns an integer value. That means the absolute value. This percentage sign gives us the reminder of the division one, and we get the reminder after division. That's why we use this sign. Okay. Yeah, this is what I was telling you. So they using these prefixes. Suppose we have a variable. Um, we have a variable. Suppose, and we have to do this operation on that. In that case, we can directly use this plus plus var, which will do variable plus 1. So this is the shorthand for doing this statement. Suppose we have an integer over here that is equal to 2. If you want to do 2 plus 1, this would be a shortcut way of doing that. same, this also would be the same thing for doing that. You can also use this for the multiplication purposes. Okay, when we have again after this, uh, okay, one more thing I need to tell you is we have one more data type in Dart, that is dynamic. Like this will automatically take the value during the runtime. We don't have to specify if we don't want to specify the data type of any variable, then we can write this dynamic keyword. So this will automatically print the type of this will automatically assign the type during the runtime. Okay, we can also use the var keyword. This will also work in the same way. This will instead of hard coding the type of variable, we could write the type of variable in this way also. Okay. Uh, After that, let's go into loops. What are the types of loops in Dart? Okay. Um, the first loop that we have in Dart is we mostly use the for loop only, but we have a loop while loop also. So we'll use first see what is a while loop. In while loop, we first write the condition. Like if we write till a is greater than or equal to suppose 15, and inside this we write the we inside the after writing the condition we write our whatever logic that we are building. Okay, and after that after doing that we do the increment. Okay, like this is same. This will increase the value of a by 1, that again it will go here. Okay, okay, is so this is how the while loop syntax would look. Okay, yeah, this gave us values. We this gave us values between 9 and 15. So here we gave a condition. You print the values of a until a is less than 15. So a started from 9, then it went here, then the first value was 9, the condition was true, it went inside the for loop, printed the while loop, printed the value of a. Again here after coming here, the value of a got increased by 1, and again it went here, then it printed 10, and this happened multiple times. Okay, so this is the first type of loop that we have in Dart, is the while loop. For after that we have another type of loop in Dart, that is the very developer friendly loop. Like most of the developers use this loop, that is the for loop only. So the syntax of for loop is like, first we have to give it a initial value for the for loop to start. So we'll start it with we declare an integer over here, that is I. The I will start from 0. Then we'll use a semicolon, and then will write the condition. I'll just write a comment so you can get it more easily. First first thing that we have to write is the starting point or the initial value. Okay, and after the semicolon we give the condition, and after the condition we write the increment for that loop. Okay, so this is how the for loop looks like, and we'll write a practical for loop over here. So in this I'll give a condition till a integer I is less than or less than a. Okay, the value of a is 9. So I wrote that, and after that we'll give here the increment condition. increment condition will be I plus plus. This way, every time the loop gets executed, the value of I would get increased by 1. So inside here, we'll simply print the value of I. Okay. So the value of I will get printed as soon as the loop get executed multiple times. Okay. See, here we gave a condition. It started from, we got the value of I over here. See it started from 0 and it got executed and it went till less than a, that means less than 9. So we got values until 8. Okay. uh, the print statement automatically prints the next line. We don't have to write the slash n like we used to write in other programming languages. We don't have to write the slash n statement over here in Dart. The print statement automatically prints the new line. Okay. So uh, again, we have another type of for loop, but we'll see that later when once we see about the collections. Um, one more thing I'll like to show you is the ternary operator that we have in Dart. I don't think many languages has that feature. I'll show you some very basic ternary operator. Okay, the ternary operator is like uh, it is like the if else condition only. You think of it like a if else condition. Okay, so suppose we will declare a variable that would be integer 2. Okay, and we'll declare another variable that is integer would be 5, 50 over 5. Okay, so uh, so suppose if we want to check any conditions between them, what we'll do is write is like the traditional way of doing that would be we'll write a if else condition. Okay, so first we'll see that, then we'll see the how we can do this using the ternary operator so that we can relate to it very easily. Okay, first we'll write that if a is greater than b, then print true. Okay, and else we'll print okay. I hope you got it. So here we are doing is checking the condition that if a is greater than b, will print this statement, else we'll print this statement. Okay, so if we run this, we can see it has failed, the condition is not true. Okay, so this got executed. So I'll tell you another shorthand or shortcut for doing this process. This right, instead of writing this how much 1 2 3 4 5, instead of writing 6 lines, we can do this process, we can do this whole operation in a single line. I'll tell you how to do it. So let's comment it. Oh, let's comment these lines. See what we'll use a ternary operator here. We'll write a is greater than b. So first of all, what we wrote the condition that we want to check. That could be any condition. A is greater than b, or if you have any complex other operation, we can write that first. We'll write the condition. Oh, wait, I'll just show you the syntax of that, and then you'll get. Okay. So in a ternary operator, first thing we write is the condition. Condition. Okay. Then we give a question mark. Then we give, if the condition is true, we'll print here the true statement, or we do the process which we write here, or if they we'll write the false process, we'll write here. Okay, so this is the same syntax of doing this whole process. Okay, we wrote an if condition, then we gave the braces and all. Instead of doing the whole thing, we can do this by just giving a question mark and doing this. Okay, so let's see. I'll show you by example. we have this condition to check that if A is greater than B. Okay, so first we know the what is, so if the condition is true, we have to execute this true statement. So here we'll directly write print true. Okay, and if the condition is not true, we'll write the uh, false statement. Here we'll write the false. Okay, so like as you can see here, the whole 6-line code over here, the if else and the curly braces code, we can shrink this whole thing into a single line. See, the only difference is here this considers this as the if condition. Okay, this is the condition that we are checking. This is the operator. Okay, ternary operator. If the condition is true, then this statement will get executed. Otherwise, is let's consider this is the if block and this is the else block. If the condition we wrote here, that is A is greater than B, that is true, then this statement will get executed. Otherwise, this will get executed. Same as the if else condition that we used to write. Okay, so okay, we are getting the suit and we'll just comment this. You can see we are getting false because the condition was not true. This statement got executed. What if the condition is true? Let's make the condition is true. Okay, the A is less than B. Let's see if this condition comes true. Yeah, we got true. Like, so instead of writing the whole if else thing, you could do this using a single line by using this ternary operator. Okay, we have one more operator in that is the null aware operator. We'll see what is the null aware. PE. The so the null aware operator is also very useful. Like it can be used in various cases because this saves us lot of code and lot of hard work that we used to do writing the conditions for this. So the null aware operator goes like this. Let's consider if the value of A is null. Okay, and if we are printing the value of A, if we are printing the value of A and this will give us null. But what if we want to make it, we want to add some validation over here, and we have to give it an option. If the value is null, then we have to do some other process. So for that we use this null aware operators. These are just two question marks and B. Like, okay, this is this statement. If you are getting this, like this will check if A is null, this will get printed, or else A will get printed. Okay, so let's see now. 5 got printed. Why? Because A was null. So because of this null aware operator, the value got checked, and the other condition that we gave, that otherwise print B, so B got printed. Okay, what if we give A some value? It is not null. It has a value of 6. Okay, so in this case, the A part will get executed smoothly. Okay, so this can be used like somewhere if you are making something and you want to make it, you want to add any validations that the values should not be null. So you can give these condition over there, and we can use this to add some default values if the input is null. Okay. Uh, let's see now the Dart collections. The collections in Dart. Okay. So the first type of collection that we have in Dart is the list. Okay, list is nothing but an array only. Like, don't consider it as something else. List is an array only. It is same. Just the name is different. Okay, the methods are same. The type, the way we add the elements in the list are same. So if you look at this very var keyword means this is a list, and we have added the values in the same way that we use to add in a list. Okay, let's see this in code. Okay, uh, first what we are looking is list. Okay, list in the collection part. So the topic is collection, and the first type of collection that we have in Dart is list. Okay, the so let's firstly see how to declare a list. Okay, it is very simple. The same way you declare an array list in Dart. The same way you declare a array list in Java. This is the same thing we do here. We write list. We give the type of variable that we are going to store in the list. Okay, in this angle brackets, we give this list a value. Suppose let's name the list as A. Okay, and we directly we can add the values. See, as you can remember, I told you for declaring a string in Dart, we can use either single quote or double quotes. Both are very much valid in Dart. We don't have to care about the whether we are using single quotes or double quotes. Okay, just this point you should keep in your mind. Okay, this is simple. This is like an array, and if we want to print this A, if you want to print A, we'll get this whole array of printed over here. Again, if and let's see into the methods that we have in our array. Okay, various the list methods, the list manipulation method. So the first method we'll look at is add method. Okay, the add method will add values. mm, okay, in the this will just add the value that we gave here. Okay, so the first we initialize list, it has 3 variables. Now we have added one more variable, so the new list has now 4 variables after we printed. Okay, if we add a print statement over here, okay, then we can will easy to compare. See, here it had 3 values, but when this statement got executed, one more value got added in this list. Okay, and there's also other methods like dot remove method is also there. If we directly want to remove something, if I want to remove this string a, and I could directly give this, you can directly write this uh, remove method. Okay, see, first we initially here we had 3 values in the list, and when we executed the remove method, the a variable got removed. Okay, uh, again, one more point to note over here would be, if we don't specify the type of variables over here, this will also work fine. By default it will consider the type as dynamic. Okay, by if we don't specify the type, like here we wrote string before, but if we don't specify the type of list, by default the dynamic would be considered. Okay, so if we don't write it, then also there's no problem. Okay, one more thing, let's see how to iterate over the list. Okay, like if we want to retrieve the whole one by one the values of the list, then how would we do that? How would we iterate over the list? Okay, the first method of doing would be using the normal for loop. Okay, uh, let's initialize it by I is equals to 0. Here the number would be index. Like we all must must be knowing that the way we add the indexes of the list get started from 0. So it will start from 0, then the condition it will execute till the value of I is less than a dot length. So a dot length. Okay, what this a dot length will give, this method will give us the length of the list. Okay, the length of these list we have here is 3. So this condition will give us the length, and the for loop will execute until the this condition is met, that is the value of I is less than the length of the a. Length is nothing but the number of variables that we have inside the list. Okay, and again the last would be increment counter, so we'll increment it by 1. Okay, so here what we'll print is print the a I matlab here we'll print the value of a. Okay, like the value at index I. Suppose I'll show you this first of all how we will do this. Mm. Oh shit. Okay, let got deleted. Let it be. If we want to retrieve a value from a particular index, suppose we want to get a variable which is at the index 0, then we'll write 0 over here. Okay, and if we want to get it at index 2, we have to make sure the index is not exceeding, because we have see I wrote the index 3, then it had an exception that the range is not 3. The range of this is just 2, no, because 0, this is a 0, 1 and 2. So if you write here, we have to take care of that. Okay, value of 2 got printed. Okay, now what I was telling is how to iterate over this list, that how to retrieve all the variables inside a list one by one. For that, we'll first method is using a normal for loop. Print I will start from the 0. I should be less than a dot length and I plus plus. Okay, so and what we'll print is just the element at index element at the index. Okay, print a and ith index. So this line will print the element at the ith index. Suppose the value of I is 0, then this will get printed. Let's see by running this code. See, we are getting over here the 3 values that we have inside the list. Okay, now moving further, we also have one more type of for loop in Dart, that is the for in loop. uh, for in loop is very specific, if we very useful and specific if we have same types of data types inside a list, it is very easy to iterate using that. Okay, so the syntax of the for each loop is like, if we are having a string, we'll first declare a variable string, suppose b, in the list a. Okay, so this will loop all over the list. Let's add one more variable over here. So what this for in loop will do is this will loop over the whole list, and one by one get the every string of that we have in the list. If we have some other data type like 8, this will not count inside the string for in loop, because we have declared here the type is string. If we also want to print this 8, then we'll look at it. Let's just print it first. Print the string b. Okay, so this is the syntax for in loop. I hope everyone is able to understand it. We just wrote a string inside the a, so this will iterate over every value over here in the inside that. Okay, okay, see, a got printed, b got printed, c and d got printed, but after that 8 was here, and 8 is an integer, and here what we gave it the value is, we gave it the data type of string. So 8 didn't get printed, and as soon as it reached to 8, it threw an exception. Okay, so if we also make 8 as a string, then this will run very much fine. Okay, so again in some cases we have different types of variables inside a list. In that case, we keyword or the dynamic keyword or the dynamic or we can use this dynamic or var keyword. This will print the values irrespective of the data type. So if we have any types of data types over here, if we have boolean over here, we have double. Any type of value will get printed if we give the data type over here as var or dynamic. Okay. So this is how we use a for in loop. Okay. All the values got printed. Okay. One more type of for loop is there. That is the for each loop in that. Okay. For using a for each loop, the syntax is like a dot for each. Okay, for each element we have to give here a uh, for each element this will print the element. So this is like a small function that we are. I hope you must be knowing what are arrow functions. We have these kinds of statements in JavaScript, also in C Sharp. We'll see that after a while. First, let's just execute how we use this for each loop. Yeah, this all values got printed using the for each loop. So like for the list, and also we saw there are three types of for loops in that. Okay, we can use any according to our convenience. If you are comfortable with the normal traditional for loop, use that. If you comfortable with the for in loop, you can use that. If you want to use the for each loop, you can use that. All of them do the same task, but the syntax is a little bit different. Okay. Uh, so like you must all be thinking that what is this? This is something new. We have not seen this. So this is an arrow function. We'll once we go to the functions part, we'll see what is an arrow function is. Okay. So let's jump into the functions part. Okay. Uh, Functions or method, anything you can call it. Any both of them are same. You can call it anything. How to declare a function in Dart? Okay, so it is same like we do in other languages. We first specify the return type, then we give the function name as a like the function name could be anything. Here we can write parameters if it has any parameters, or and inside here we can use this function. Okay, print any a, you can print any random text over here, and inside the main function we can call this a. Okay, see, we called it and this got printed. Okay, this function didn't have any return type, so if we give it a return type like integer, then then this has to return something like 3. Suppose we are returning again, we'll go here and print the return type of this function. So see
Uh,
in this, hello,
yeah,
huh?
Piyush, sorry to interrupt you. Actually, it's been 1 and 8 now. So
Huh.
you just wind up session till 1:15, and after 15 minutes, we'll be taking off our doubt session.
Okay,
Is it?
okay. Little bit on there. I'll try to wrap up.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay. So, see, as you can see here, the three got printed. The return type of this. Okay. So I'll just these. You all must be knowing about these normal functions. I'll not get too much into this. I'll show you what is the special type of function that we have in Dart. Here we have this arrow function. Okay, if we have a single like we are not doing any processing, if we directly want to return any value, we can do this using this instead of writing the return statement and all. See, this will work as same as the normal normal function, but it will directly write directly return the value, and this will save us a lot of code and a lot of writing. Okay. So okay, like I hope most of you would be comfortable with functions and how to declare a function, how to give the function parameters. So we'll not get too much deep into it. Okay. Okay. The next part what we'll do is um let's see what are classes and objects in that. Okay, that because that is an object oriented language. Okay, so everything over here is an object. Okay, how do we declare an object is we how do we declare a class? Okay, first of all, the class is a body, like consider it as a body inside which we store various functions and various functions and variables which we can use. Okay, suppose we have a class called a, and uh, inside the class we can write various variables or various functions. Suppose I write a variable over here, int a is equals to 3, and I write here another one function over here. Like suppose we'll write a function. If we don't specify the type of the return type of the function, that also will work in Dart. Like it is not strictly, it is not strict that you have to specify the return type. If I directly give it a name, and if I directly write the body without writing here void integer or any return type, this will also work fine. Let's see if this prints print a. Okay, so this is a class. It has a variable, it has a method. It can have various things. So first, let's see how to instantiate a class in Dart, like how to create an object of a class in Dart. Okay, so everything we need to start from the main function. So we need to instantiate the class in the main function. So uh, the syntax of that would be, we'll start the class name, or we can also write var over here, and we'll give the instantiation a variable name. Like let's suppose AA is equals to, you can write the new keyword like we do in Java, but it is not necessary. If you don't write that, still it is fine. So you can directly instantiate it like this. Okay, now we have created an instance of the class A in the main function. Okay, so if we can access anything which is inside the class A, we can get AA, like see, like we can call, let's call the function that we have over here. Let's name this function b. Okay, we'll try calling the function of a from the main function a dot b. Okay, see, we created over here instance, and we are using the method of class a over here. Okay, we'll use it like that. So yeah, it gave us the value, the thing which it was supposed to do. Okay, now let's jump into inheritance. Like that is the most important topic in object-oriented programming. Also, we'll need the concept. We'll need to know the concept of inheritance when we are writing code, writing the apps in Flutter. So, like inheritance is like we can. Uh, I'll show you an example of that. See, inheritance. Okay, inheritance is like, see, if two classes share a same property, then we can inherit the property of a parent class inside a child class. Okay, suppose we have a class called shape, and we have a class called circle. Then we can use the like, it is a circle is also a shape, so it will have same properties like the other, some say. So we can use the we can use the this various functions inside the shape in the circle class. Okay, like same lies here. Okay, let's see this last example. This would be easy to understand. Suppose we have a class called vehicle. Okay, and we have other classes like car. In car we have different types of cars, like the normal small cars, the sedan or the SUV. So all other classes will have same properties. Like all the cars will have four wheels. So in this way, we will be able to share the properties of this vehicle class in the other classes. Okay, I'll show you this in code. Okay, suppose we have a class car. Okay, uh, this has a property of string. Okay, uh, let's name it as number of wheels. It will be equal to four now. So it would be an integer. So it would be equal to 4. Okay. So it can like let's not care about the other scenarios. We'll see a basic example. We have another class called SUV. Okay. So this SUV class will have its own, like its the body would be very huge. Okay, like this will have a body of that vehicle would be uh, shape would be very big as compared to the other one. And okay, uh, we'll have one more class called the normal sedan. Okay, so the body shape of this sedan would be small. Okay, so these are the properties which are different in the these classes. Okay, but what if but both the type of car are going to have a same case, that is, or both of them are going to have four wheels. Okay, so what we can do is use this four wheels property in this SUV class. So like let's extend this class with this one, and we'll do the same with the sedan one. Okay, so what will happen after we will do this is we can use this property uh, in this class also. Okay, so like let's instantiate the class. Let's instantiate the class SUV. SUV and SS. So see, we instantiated the class over here. So now we can access the variables method, whatever will be there in the SUV class. We have. So for now, we only have one variable over here. So let's try to print that variable, that is ss dot body shape. Okay, okay. So body shape of that car is big. Okay, but what if we want to this class is a child of the car class. Okay, so in this case what will happen, the ss dot, we can also use this wheels variable over here. So as you can see here, the SUV class does not have a wheels variable, but still when we instantiate it, we are able to use the when we created an object, we are able to use the wheels variable in this SUV class. Okay, so this is what we call inheritance. Like the property of the parent class automatically comes inside the child class. Like this extended the car class, so this is the child of that car class. So we are able to use this wheel property in over here also. And if we run this code, see, you can see it has four wheels and this body shape is big. We can do the same thing with the sedan class also. So this is all for inheritance. We will not need more than this when we are coding in Flutter apps. And also, let's see if something is remaining. Okay, one more important thing we'll wrap up after this is constructors. Okay, so suppose we have a class. Okay, and uh, we have a class in which we have some predefined things. Suppose when we are instantiating the class, we have to use that value. Okay, uh, Okay, so suppose we have a, a class called car, and it has several properties like let's see, int engine, number of engines. Okay, engine would be 1 for this. Okay, and suppose whenever we'll create a constructor, we'll have to give this values of these variables in them. So constructor syntax would be like, it will be same as the class name, and it will have, will give curly braces, and we will give this dot wheels. Like this keyword will consider the variable which is the here in this. There is another one, another variable that is called um, super. The super variable considers the global variable, but we don't have any global variable here. We have a local variable in this class called wheels. So we use this keyword. This is for safety when we are coding, so we do not get any errors. And we have these two properties. Okay, so using constructors, suppose I have another class, or I am instantiating this class in other way, in other class. There I have to use this properties by default. Like these are necessary ones. So by giving a constructor, we can let's see, we can pass that values. Okay, uh, see, while instantiating, we can specify the constructor values like suppose wheel wheels would be a rubber. Okay, so we can specify this properties. Okay, so we should not okay, we should not initialize those values. So here suppose we have the wheels property, we can give it 4, and we can use the engine properties. Engine would be 1. Okay, so for every instance we can have different properties. Suppose I'm creating another instance of this class. I'm creating another instance called cc1. Okay, so in this case I can use this another instance. Like if I have some big car, I could have 6 wheels. So this is how we can use constructor instead of defining, and we can use this when during the implementation we can use these values. Okay, so consider this like, if we are creating the instance in different times, we can specify different types of variables over here, instead of writing hard coding the variables over here in the class only. We can instantiate the variables during the runtime when we create an object of this, like using the constructor. Okay, um, again, like there are lots of things, but we'll not be needing all of them when we are coding for Flutter. I think this much of that knowledge would be enough, more than enough, when we are writing apps in Flutter. So I think we would wind up after this, and we'll start with the question session. See, there are lots of things I know in object-oriented world, but we will not necessarily need all of them when we are coding in Flutter. And if we need them, we'll see them side by side. Okay. We also have the asynchronous programming and all, which we'll need during the Flutter coding, but we'll see that on the way. Because if right now I'll explain that, you will not able be you will not be able to relate that when we are using Flutter. Okay, so we'll see that side by side when we'll be doing the Flutter coding. For now, this much part of that would be fine. Like this all of this was very basic. If you knew this already, fine. But from tomorrow we'll start for Flutter. There, this all these things will be very useful. Okay, so like let's start with the question session. Okay?
Guys, anyone have doubt, please note it down in the chat box. Please write in chat box.
You can write your doubt inside the chat box. I'll see it over here. like you can ask anything. Why are we using Dart only for Flutter? Why are we not using any other programming language? Or like working of Flutter would be very much clear to all of you. This is very much same like the other programming language if you have any prior experience. So you can ask anything. Hello, anyone? You're having no doubts?
Piyush sir, please check on chat box.
Uh,
There are some doubts. Chat box.
okay, wait.
Can you find that chat box?
No, where is it?
At the bottom, beside the share screen. Open the Zoom app. Not that, not that. Yeah, this one. Stop sharing. You can find the option above.
Okay. I'll stop the sharing. That then maybe I'll see that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you can find their
Uh,
bottom chat box.
now I saw the chat box.
Yeah, go with it. Yeah.
Uh, हाँ when it comes to ऐसा ये तो आपने ही लिखा है. The first doubt I saw here is, can we use Eclipse for programming? You can use Eclipse. The only thing you have to go, you have that Eclipse marketplace over there, and you can download the Dart or Dart plugin from there. But I would say, no, uh, but I would suggest to go for Intellij, or just if you want to practice that, go on the dart.dev website, and there you can find the Dart pad. You can directly code on the Dart pad instead of downloading the whole stuff. For the instruction purpose, I downloaded it. Otherwise, I also don't use any specific IDE for coding in Dart. You Can I use Notepad plus plus? Yeah, you can use anything. Just you need to download the Dart SDK, and you can do that using the command line. But go for a good IDE. Use IntelliJ or Android Studio maybe. Okay. What is switch? This switch statements are like if-else conditions. Like we give the conditions instead of writing some wholesome condition, we give a specific condition. Like if this, we give different cases, and we write down the code if uh, the condition is satisfied. Okay, like that is very basic. You can if you go for the documentation of that, you'll find very neat explanation of that. They've written very thorough. I'll suggest everyone to go for the documentation on the official Dart website. They've written everything in detail. Like you'll find every piece of information over there. Okay, it is it similar to C language? Yeah, not similar to C, because C is not object oriented, but still the concept, like the types of loops and if else statement, the concepts are same. But yeah, Dart is not object oriented. Sorry, Dart is object oriented and C is functional. So yeah, the knowledge of that would be useful over here. Okay. please share your YouTube channel. I don't have a YouTube channel. You if you want to see some good code of Flutter, I'll suggest you go to the official Flutter YouTube channel. They have very very useful videos, and also the Google developer YouTube channel. They have very good and neat videos which would be very helpful for you. And also documentation, read documentation. That is the best way to get into this. Like, don't go to any other websites. Go to the official website. The documentation which is written there is the best source to learn any programming in Dart or Flutter. Also, Flutter website is also very good. Uh, what is syntax for user input in Dart? Okay, like we have scanf and C in all in C++. Like, I would say we don't need that. We have std out. We have to import the Dart IO plugin. It is not by default over there. We have to import the Dart IO plugin for that. But trust me, we don't need the user input when we are coding in Flutter. In any production level application, we don't use that user input thing. That is just very much when we are coding in our college computer. We need that because everything we show there is in the console. Here we'll not be working in the console. We'll be making real apps, so we don't need that thing. We'll have other types of methods for user input in Flutter. We have text fields and forms for that. Okay. And we don't need to go very much deep into Flutter. The things I taught you today would be fine, and if you go through the documentation during your free time, you'll get you very much comfortable with that. We don't need to go very much deep because we are not doing the core programming. We'll be just using that as a tool for building Flutter. So that would be consider like it like that. It is, we are not going into core Dart programming. We'll just learn the part necessary for the Flutter app development. Okay. Can we use Android Studio? Yes, you can do Android Studio, but not for that. We'll use it for Flutter. I'll show it to you in tomorrow's session. Android Studio is pretty heavy, so just for Dart programming, don't install Android Studio. Go for the Dartpad, which is available online. Just search Dartpad, you'll get it. Okay. Please show how to set up a Dart in Intellij on Mac. Instead of Intellij, I can't add Dart. What if without brew if possible? Oh, hi, yeah, you. I suggest don't go for any IDs for practice purpose. Wait, I'll after this question session, I'll show you the Dartpad. Wait, I'll show you the Dartpad from there. See, go to the Flutter website, search Dart website. For practice purpose, I'll suggest you don't go for any ID. Just open the Dart official Dart website. Okay, this will look like that, and go here and try Dart. Okay. Okay. See, here you have a Dart pad. You can do all the problems that let's increase the zoom. See, here you can write any program that we normally write inside an IDE. So instead of doing that whole hectic job, go for this Dartpad and for practice purpose. Okay. See, just run this code. Here you have this console. Okay, avoid. I have to write the main. See, you can directly practice it over here. You have the console at side, or you can search the Dartpad website also. I think they have a different website for this. Yeah, dartpad.dev, this website. Yeah, this is the dedicated Dartpad for this. You can use this also. Okay, here they have few example problems, or you can code your own thing over here. Okay. So yeah, instead of using some IDE, I'll suggest you go for the Dartpad. Okay. Does that follow all the concept of object oriented same as C or Java? Not C. C is not object oriented. Yeah, it is same as Java. please make this point. C is not object oriented. We do not use the concept of C over here. We use the concept of Java, C++, Swift, C Sharp, Ruby, any language you have coded, but not C. Not C is not object oriented, right? Yeah, is same. C++ uses the same concept of object oriented nature. Okay, is dynamic like a generic type? No, dynamic is not generic. It's just like we assign the value during the runtime. But I'll suggest you do not give dynamic every time. Write explicitly go there and write integer, float, whatever it is. But in cases where you don't know, there only use dynamic or a var keyword. Otherwise, directly write the primitives integer or float, double, whatever it is. Okay, because that would consume the more processing power when we do that. And when we are coding apps, we have to keep that in mind, that we do not use the more resources of the device. Okay, you can use VS Code for coding, and that, yes, you can go VS Code. VS Code has everything, almost every programming language you can do in VS Code. Just download the Dart plugin in there. Okay, when we put the $sign to the concatenate two variables, what if we really want the type $signs and not concatenate? Okay, very good question. This is like, if we want to print the $sign also, what we'll do in that case. Okay, so in that case, I'll show you. See, suppose we are concatenating the string. We have string A. Okay, it has a value of A, C, D, E, F. Okay, this has the value, and we are going here for we want to concatenate this A over here. Okay, this would work fine. Okay, but what if we want to write that inside this? Okay, so here we can use the $sign, and yeah, we can do this like this. Okay, you got it. Like, if we put curly braces and inside that we write this, then the $sign will also get printed. Okay, see, $sign A. Okay, just use the curly braces. If sometimes if you have a static variables, then also you need to do the same thing. Like, you have to use curly braces. For suppose if the string is uh, like, we can do, we'll make a class A. It has a static string or B. See, we have a random string over here. Let's instantiate A is equals to. So we made an object of this. Okay. See, in this case, what we want to do is, using the $sign, we want to print the value of B. So AA dot B. So this will give an error because we cannot do that. This will give AA dot B. See, this give an instance of that. Okay. So in cases like this, we can use the curly braces over here, and can use the $sign like this. Okay, like this would work. Like, if you have, okay, we this is a static variable. We also don't need to instantiate it. You can directly use it like A dot B. Okay. Okay, fine. See, if we give this curly braces, this worked. But if we didn't give the curly braces, this would throw an error. This gave A dot B because it considered A and B like that way. But I'll suggest you if you have any case like that, just wrap this up inside a curly brace, and that should work fine. Okay. If we assign a dynamic variable like integer, then we can reassign it to a string later. Yes, you can do it, but don't will not need it like that. I'll suggest you make explicitly, only in cases like where you don't know the data type, like what is it going to be, like you're receiving it from somewhere. In that case, you use the dynamic one, or otherwise just write down the explicitly write down the primitive variables. Okay. The ternary operator is similar to lambda. No, lambda expression is another thing. We'll look into it when we code in Flutter. They call it anonymous functions in that. So anonymous functions are very much like lambda functions. You don't have to specify the return type and the name of function. Okay. Okay. I enough the questions. We'll cover the later questions from tomorrow. From tomorrow, we'll start with Flutter, the real Flutter. Today was just a pre-build for you to get friendly with that. From tomorrow, we'll start with Flutter. Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you, Piyush sir, for your valuable knowledge. You have shared a lot of knowledge to us. We'll be sharing the tomorrow's link, like tomorrow morning. And
Yeah.
thank you everyone for attending this. And sorry, we can't cover every doubt questions today because we have short of time. So any questions related today's webinar will be covered tomorrow. There is no issue for that. And the YouTube video, like today's recording, will be shared on YouTube as soon as possible, and the link will be shared on your group. So thank you everyone. I guess we can conclude the webinar today for today. Okay, Piyush sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.